In Australia, there are plenty of different mobile phone plans available. It's therefore good to be on the lookout for what deals are out there to help you save money. In this video, we'll look at the various types. But firstly, it's important to have a basic understanding of how the industry is set up. There are three main network providers: Telstra, which is the country's largest, Optus, and Vodafone. These companies own and operate large infrastructure that allow for mobile communication to be made possible. Then you have retailers that sell mobile phone plans to customers. These could be the main network providers themselves, like Telstra, or they can be smaller companies like Mobile Virtual Network Operators, or MVNOs. An example of this would be Amaysim. These companies rent part of the network of the larger network providers. So, when you're on a mobile phone plan, it's important to know that the quality of your phone reception often comes down to the main network provider and not necessarily the retailer. Right, so before you look at any mobile phone plan, you firstly need to consider some personal factors. The main factors that contribute to the cost of a plan include the number of calls and texts you make and how much internet data that you use. A handy process to go through, if you're already on a phone plan, is to monitor this over the course of say 2 to 3 months. This should provide you with an indication of how much you use your mobile phone and what for. Internet data is measured in megabytes and gigabytes. Typically, a low level of monthly use will be less than about 500 megabytes per month, and a high level of use will often be about 7 gigabytes per month or more. After having gone through this activity, you can begin to compare plans. The first type that we'll look at is prepaid. It is one where at the beginning of each period, such as a month, you pay an amount in advance, and this will load a level of credit onto your phone. The credit will include a certain amount of calls, texts, and internet data. The benefit of such a plan is that you know how much you're spending before you've used the service. If you use up your credit, then your service gets suspended until you top it up. The second type of plan is postpaid. This is a plan where you pay an amount quoted on your phone bill at the end of each period, such as a month. Typically, the plan will have a cap on the amount of calls, texts, and internet you can use, and if you go over this cap, you can face penalty rates which can make your monthly phone bill a lot more expensive. So if you choose this particular plan, you should pick one where you're confident that you won't quite reach the cap. The benefit of such a plan is that if you need to exceed the cap, your service will not be suspended. Okay, so the two plans that we've looked at so far are what you call SIM-only plans. This is because these plans only provide a communication service and assume that you will be buying your own mobile phone separately. So as a third option, many retailers these days also offer plans that come with a brand new mobile phone. In this plan, you pay a regular amount, usually monthly, which incorporates the cost of the new phone and the cost of the communication service as well. Most of the time, you'll find this sort of plan structured as a postpaid plan. So those are the three main types of phone plans available in Australia. One last thing to note is that when you are picking a plan, you check to see if it comes in a lock-in contract or not. Some retailers offer deals that lock you in as a customer for a period of time, often a year. If flexibility is what you're after in a phone plan, then make sure you steer clear of lock-in contracts. Bear in mind that new mobile phone plans will always come in lock-in contracts. And hopefully you now have a bit more confidence when addressing and comparing phone plans.